In today's news, up to 14 years and $500,000 for child abuse material. Windy Hill project enters next phase of improvements. Highlights mature and fruitful relationships with Governor PRUCE. OECS project aims to boost medical resilience. Baker addresses timeline to file companies in the Virgin Islands. Workplaces fairness globally, balancing the weight of fairness. Significance of horse racing in the VI highlighted. TIONDRE FRETT hits double qualifications for 2025 CARIFTA Games. Trump delays tariffs for Canada and Mexico but stands firm on China. We have the details of this all locally, regionally, as well as internationally. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 7. Introducing Travi Rose, Creative Director. Alex Lake, Businessman. Sean Black, Cinematographer. Dakari Wheatley Adams, Content Creator. Donandre Millwood, Educator and Musician. Hashim Dream, Entertainer. James Todman Sr., Contractor. Dr. Albert Tompkins, Psychotherapist. Walter Barrett, Author. Rakim Todman, Producer and Engineer. Kamal Letson, Photographer. Roosevelt Smith III, Sales Manager and Hospitality Professional. Leland Abraham, IT Technician and Cybersecurity Analyst. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 7, every Wednesday at 8 p.m., exclusively on 284 Media. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redefine yourself through the stories of real-life heroes. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 7, Raising a Generation of Greatness. Voted Top 35 Gentleman Podcast Worldwide by FeedSpot and BI Icon Award winner.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the very latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Wednesday's wish to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has reaffirmed its zero tolerance policy regarding the circulation of explicit material involving minors, warning that violators will face severe penalties, including substantial fines and lengthy prison sentences. In a media release on Monday, February 3rd, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force noted that under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act of 2014, individuals found guilty of distributing, transmitting, or possessing child abuse material, including child pornography, can face up to $20,000 in fines or 7 years in prison upon summary conviction in the magistrate's court. For those indicted in the High Court, the penalties increased to $500,000 and prison sentences of up to 14 years, or both. The warning follows reports that a video featuring high school students is being circulated on digital platforms. Now, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has emphasized once again that any engagement with such material, whether through distribution, storage, or possession, is a serious criminal offense. Chief Inspector Kenrick Davis, head of the Criminal Investigations Department, pointed out that the 2025 amendment to the Act has broadened the definition of, and I quote, computer to include cell phones, digital video recorders, and closed-circuit television systems. This means that individuals who share or store explicit content of minors via their mobile devices are equally liable under the law. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is urging individuals who may have received such material to delete it immediately and refrain from further distribution. The public, particularly parents, guardians, and educators, are encouraged to have open discussions with young people about the risks and consequences of engaging in or distributing explicit material. Anyone with information regarding the circulation of explicit material involving minors is encouraged to contact the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Family and Juvenile Unit at 368-9401. Reports also can be made confidentially through Crime Stoppers, that's 800-8477, or directly to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Intelligent Unit at 368-9339. The Ministry of Communications and Works announced this week that it has completed a critical retaining wall project in the Windy Hill area of Carrot Bay and will soon begin reconstructing approximately 150 linear feet of roadway. Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai M. Reimer, said the project, which concluded its initial phase in December, will now move to concrete pavement reconstruction, followed by an asphalt overlay to ensure a durable road surface.
The next phase will involve reconstruction of approximately 150 linear feet of concrete road pavement. Once this concrete work is completed, the section will be overlaid with asphalt to ensure a durable surface.
The minister is requesting all motorists to exercise increased caution and strictly follow traffic signs and personnel instructions during the upcoming roadworks.
We will issue formal notices to the public as we approach the commencement date for these roadworks, allowing a smooth transition into the construction activities. During this time, we kindly ask all motorists to exercise caution and adhere to all traffic signs and personnel in the area. Your cooperation is essential as we work diligently to restore and improve our road infrastructure for the benefit of all residents and visitors.
Specific start dates for the next phase of the construction are expected in the coming weeks. Premier and Minister of Finance Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley has described his working relationship with His Excellency Governor Daniel PRUCE as one of mutual respect, maturity, and productive dialogue. Speaking at a recent press conference in response to a media question, Premier Wheatley emphasized the improved collaboration between his office and Governor PRUCE. Premier Wheatley has previously said on record that there is a much more collaborative approach between his office and Governor PRUCE compared to PRUCE's predecessor, Governor John Ranking. Now, Dr. Wheatley noted that the current relationship fosters constructive discussions and a shared commitment to addressing key national priorities.
Of course, the current governor, he's the chair of the cabinet. And of course, I would be the primary person of contact as it pertains to any matters for the government. So we have to interact. We have a mature relationship. I would say, of course, if I have any challenges or any issues, I share those with him. I'm quite open about wherever we have issues. And of course, we have issues where we work together quite closely.
And he's open to when you have issues.
We have National Security Council. We're in together and we have to collaborate. So it's important for a governor and a premier to be able to have a mature, responsible relationship.
Governor PRUCE, who is assumed office in January of 2024, the 29th to be exact, recently marked his first year in the role. Upon taking office, he outlined three primary areas of focus: enhancing security, ensuring good governance, and helping to build a better future for the people of these Virgin Islands. Over the past year, he has worked alongside the government to advance these objectives. Reflecting on his first year, Governor PRUCE reaffirmed his commitment to strengthening governance and fostering a positive relationship with local leaders. In a public statement, he also provided a preview of his plans for 2025.
As I look ahead to 2025, my work will continue very much in those areas. On security, I think it will be an absolutely critical year in helping make the Virgin Islands a safer environment for everyone. And I'm particularly keen to do all I can to provide a solid practical support to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force as they go about their duties. In relation to governance, obviously we'll be entering a period where we assess progress on the Commission of Inquiry. That will be a very important stage with a focus on implementation. This whole undertaking has been about delivering real-world, positive, practical outcomes for the people of the Virgin Islands. And then thirdly, in relation to building a better future, I'm very much looking forward to progressing the work that we've already got underway. I'm delighted that we now have in place a future fund to help provide funding support to individual projects. And I'm very much looking ahead to taking that work forwards as we go through 2025. So it's going to be a busy year, an important year as well, but I remain absolutely determined to make a positive difference and look forward to serving you all.
The cooperative relationship between Premier Wheatley and Governor PRUCE signals a promising step toward improved governance, stability, and development in these Virgin Islands. Up next, viewers, we have much more on the local scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service.
Just give me my service. Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Remind me to renew my insurance before I leave.
Just do it online with CG. Remember when my week-long vacation became a month-long excursion? Yeah, we ended up stuck in Saskatchewan, and I lived off the land for a month. Turns out I'm a natural-born ice fisher. Anyway, I renewed my insurance online. You never know.
An online portal that's convenient and simple. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Bye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know?
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know, I watching ball. I've been watching football, Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hooked, I tell you.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all for sticking with us. The Ministry of Health and Social Development has secured a $250,000 grant from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States to enhance healthcare infrastructure and address climate change challenges. The Enhancing Health Infrastructure and Resilient project will focus on critical improvements, including installing backup power systems, strengthening cold chain storage, and establishing medical oxygen generation capabilities. Permanent Secretary within the ministry, Ms. Tasha Bertie, said the grant will provide vital support to the territory's healthcare system. The project includes installing generators at 6 healthcare centers and upgrading refrigeration infrastructure to safely store vaccines, pharmaceuticals, and blood products. She said by installing an oxygen generation plant at Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital, we will reduce resilience and reliance, imported oxygen, and ensure a consistent supply for patient care. The project, supported by Direct Relief, is expected to conclude by the end of April. Representatives from the OECS and Direct Relief will monitor the implementation through the process. The ministry emphasized its commitment to improving healthcare infrastructure, particularly for sister islands and historically isolated communities, as well as vulnerable to disaster-related disruptions. Mr. Kenneth Baker, Managing Director of the BVI Financial Services Commission and CEO, recently addressed concerns from the public about whether the timeline given for the RVO to file companies in the Virgin Islands is realistic. Baker first highlighted why it was given.
To be honest, it is not realistic to get the beneficial ownership for all 370,000 companies in 6 months. But there are other factors at play.
Okay.
You'd be aware that there was a mutual evaluation undertaken of the BVI a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. The report was published last year, mm-hmm. and we are coming to the end of the observation period, the 1 year in which you're given mm-hmm. to address the deficiencies. Part of the recommendations of that evaluation report is to address beneficial ownership. Mm-hmm. And so the 6 months time period was to enable the process of demonstrating effectiveness of the regime we put in place mm-hmm. to collect the beneficial ownership information. Mm-hmm. We don't expect all of it to be within the 6 months, mm-hmm. but that's a start. And then, there's a possibility that we may give an extension and a further extension sometime in the year, depending on how much data is collected.
Additionally, he spoke on the process as well as the testing in order to prove that efforts were being made to strengthen areas presented in the Mutual Evaluation Recommendation Report.
The aim was to be able to say to the FATF when our observation period comes to an end is that we have started the process of collecting information, beneficial information, and testing it that is accurate and up to date, so that this beneficial ownership recommendations don't form part of any further recommendations to the jurisdiction to force us to go beyond where we think we need to go.
Mr. Garnet A. Ferron Sr., a first-time author, will be launching his book, Workplaces Fairness Globally, Balancing the Weight of Fairness, which he stated examines the complex interplay of fairness within the workplace on a global scale. In a Government Information Services release, Mr. Ferron Sr. said the contents of the text delves into the nuances of fairness as it is understood and applied within professional environments. He said, and I quote, "It offers a rigorous exploration of the subject that is sure to resonate with both employers and employees alike. It also presents an opportunity to reflect on the evolving dynamics of the modern workforce and the importance of balancing diverse interests in pursuit of equity." He further explained that the book represents the culmination of years of research and contemplation on the subject of fairness in the workplace, stating, and I quote, "The global nature of the workforce presents both challenges and opportunities, and it is my hope that this work will spark meaningful dialogue and offer practical insights that contribute to a fairer, more just working environment for all." Deputy Director of the Department of Culture, Ms. Anne Leonard, stated that her department is honored to present this quarter's book launch featuring Mr. Ferron's work. Ms. Leonard said, and I quote, "The release of this book comes at a particularly relevant time as discussions on workplace dynamics continue to gain prominence both locally and globally. Given the universal relevance of its subject matter, this book is not only timely but essential for anyone navigating the complexities of modern workplaces." Mr. Ferron Sr. will be launching his text in collaboration with the Department of Culture on February 13th. The event will be held at Village Key Marina at 5:15 p.m. and will provide an opportunity for attendees to engage directly with the author, explore the themes of the book, and participate in conversations about fairness in the modern workplace. Up next, viewers, we have some sporting news as well as U.S. politics. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more Fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI CCT Fire and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Pop the Balloon or Find the Connection. Let's meet our first contender, ladies. Okay, Joey, so do you have any toxic traits?
I'm very restrictive. I don't give more time. What you get is what you get. I don't like to give unlimited time. That's it.
Okay, can you tell us why you popped your balloon?
That's a little too restricted for me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, ladies, so let's meet our second contender.
Sorry, excuse me. Why did you pop a balloon? I could give you minutes, data, unlimited call, overseas call, fiber. What else you need?
My friend used to date you. You are scam. She used to be for everything and more. Nothing to offer.
Okay, ladies, let's welcome our last contender. You look nice. Can you tell us your name?
Thank you. My name is Christian Charles Thomas. They call me C Sweetie.
What do you have to offer these ladies?
Well, security, trust, unlimited time, and a pretty fast.
Okay, so do you have any deal breakers?
Nah, but here's my number. 444-4444. Y tú, vida ilimitada.
Okay, guys, so no pop balloons.
For a fast, reliable, and secure connection for your personal or business life, call us at 444-4444 or visit any of our CCT stores and we'll get you connected with the perfect match for you.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Before we get to regional news on the local scene, in a recent interview during Season 7 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Mr. Alex Lake, businessman and horseman, weighed in on the power of horse racing in the Virgin Islands communities. He first articulated how he was introduced to the sport.
For me, it came from her.
Okay.
Where it came from for her, that's a good question. I've never asked her that question. But she has always been into horse racing from I knew myself as a young little boy. And then it just got more and more heated as I grew up. And then, of course, there was this big pause. I can't remember the years when there was no horse racing. And then there was, and then I went away to college and school. And then, of course, it wasn't as intense at the time. In the BVI and St. Thomas USVI was still booming. For me, in my personal life, it was, I was on a different journey. Coming back home now, of course, the love for horse racing would never go away. So I got back into it and it took off like a rocket. And I love it. The sport of loving an animal nearly more than even yourself is unbelievable. Yeah. Like, I can't get up myself to do something I want to do at 5 o'clock in the morning. But if I know I gotta go deal with my horse, I gone. It's just, you know what I mean? But I love horses, man. I love horse racing. I love the sport. It's a sport that kings. I don't know why we don't treat it like a king sport here, because everywhere in the world is a gigantic sport. It's a huge sport. And it's a sport that, if you look at it, it brings people together from all places, all races, all genders, everywhere in life.
Agreed. Lake reiterated that worldwide, the sport is well respected. However, in the BVI, it is not given due respect and attention.
When there's Kentucky Derby, there's the Belmont, there's the Triple Crown, people come from literally everywhere in the world. And in the BVI, when we have big races, people come from all over the place too.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's crazy that we've let it fall apart.
He also highlighted the role of horse racing to the BVI and its impact and influence on young men.
When we were racing horses on the track, there's many young men from the community and sometimes extended communities that would come there in the morning times or in the afternoon times, want to learn about the horses, willing to work, willing to get messy, willing to get dirty, willing to sweep up, willing to do stuff that they wouldn't do at home, right? And we used to give them a little money. We used to give them a little advice, a little inspiration. Do good in school or else you can't come back with the horses. They would do that just because we tap into their parents. It's about community. The government have to understand it. Horse race created community. It created togetherness. You would go to horse race the day of the race, meet old people you never see in how long, old people so happy to see you, you happy to see them, people from different communities, family members or friends who you ain't see how long come up St. Thomas, Tatola, St. Croix. And it used to bring a lot of togetherness, a lot of, and if they would understand the importance of the VI love that they preach, and the togetherness that we are missing out on, and we becoming more, divided. They would then want to make more of an effort to get this thing back on track.
For the full interview, tune in this evening at 8 p.m. Rising BVI sprinter TIONDRE FRETT has secured his spot for the 2025 CARIFTA Games in Trinidad and Tobago, achieving double qualification marks in both the 200 and 400 meters. FRETT's very impressive performance came at the John Thomas Tier Classic in Boston on Saturday, where he competed for Sprint Tech BVI in the men's open 400 meters. FRETT finished second in the heat 17, clocking at a time of 50.26 seconds, which placed him 29th overall. He later returned for the men's open 200 meters where he dominated the heat, 19, crossing the line at 22.8 seconds and securing a 14th place overall finish. FRETT, a 2024 CARIFTA Games bronze medalist in the under-17 boys 200 meters, now joins Saviana Joseph, Othniel Gillings, and Kijana Colwood, who also meet qualification standards last week. At the collegiate level, Kilar Liebert secured her outstanding season with a record-breaking performance at the PNC Lenny Lyles Invitational, representing Florida State University. Liebert sets a new personal best and a school record, running 53.24 seconds to secure first place in the women's 400 meters. Her stellar run also etched her names into the FSU history, ranking 6th among the university's top 10 all-time 400-meter performances. Liebert further contributed to her school's success by helping FSU's distance medley relay team set a new Florida State and school record. Other BVI athletes also represented in their respective events over the weekend. Winnie Bell won Heat 5 of the men's 200 meters at the Stan Scott Invite and clocking an impressive 21.29 seconds. Joshua Hill finished second in the New Mexico team open men's 400 meters with a strong time of 47.84 seconds. Kaiba Dawson placed third in the long jump at the New Mexico team open, recording a leap of 7.69 meters. Janae Deming opened her season with a 52.97 second finish in the 200 meters and helped her 4x400 meters team running a 57.57 second split. Her impressive performance earned her with the Scottie of the Week title. On the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has agreed to delay tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico for 30 days, but remains steadfast in his decision to maintain tariffs on China, further escalating tensions between the world's two largest economies. The pause on tariffs for Canada and Mexico came as both countries took steps to address Trump's concerns about broader security and drug trafficking. However, China was granted no such reprieve, and within minutes of Trump imposing fresh tariffs, Beijing retaliated by announcing new levies on U.S. imports and warning of possible sanctions against American companies, including Google. Trump had been scheduled to speak with the Chinese president on Tuesday, but the call was abruptly canceled following China's response, despite initial reports from Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, suggesting that the two leaders would discuss a potential tariff pause. Trump dismissed any urgency in speaking with the China president and asked whether China could receive a similar tariff delay to that of Canada and Mexico. Navarro replied, "It's up to the boss. I never get ahead of the boss." In response to the new U.S. tariffs, China implemented a 15% tariff on coal and liquefied natural gas, a 10% tariff on crude oil, agriculture machinery, and large engines, cars imported from the U.S. China's State Council Tariff Commission condemned the U.S. action, stating, and I quote, "The U.S.'s unilateral tariff increase seriously violates the rules of World Trade Organization. It is not only unhelpful in solving its own problems, but also damages normal economic and trade cooperation between China and the U.S. This latest clash echoes the 2018 U.S.-China trade war, during which Trump repeatedly raised tariffs on Chinese goods, prompting a series of retaliatory measures from Beijing. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at Tweet4Media and Tweet4BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, as well as to follow us on our WhatsApp channel. I'm Ron Grant. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. A happy Wednesday. Goodbye.